March 22nd, 2012, 3:17 p.m. The Peterson Automotive Museum in Los Angeles, a place where vintage car enthusiasts come to see automotive history preserved behind velvet ropes. That afternoon, a small man in a purple jacket walked through the classic American car exhibit, moving slowly past Cadillacs and Chevrolets from the 1950s. Then he stopped, completely froze. In front of a 1967 Thunderbird, midnight blue, chrome gleaming, the exact car his father had dreamed of owning for 40 years but never could afford. What Prince did in the next 10 minutes, and what he did 6 months later with a simple photograph, would become one of the most heartbreaking and beautiful stories in music history. But Prince didn't know that yet. In fact, he hadn't planned to visit the museum at all. The Peterson Automotive Museum sits on Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles, a gleaming building covered in stainless steel ribbons. Inside, 4 floors of automotive history. Hot rods, race cars, motorcycles, and, on the 3rd floor, a collection of classic American cars from the 1950s and 60s. Prince was in L.A. for a recording session. He'd finished early. Had 2 hours to kill before a dinner meeting. His driver suggested the museum. "You like cars, right?" Prince shrugged. He didn't collect cars, didn't race them. But his father had. John L. Nelson, jazz pianist, died in 2001, spent his whole life working 3 jobs and still never had enough money for the cars he loved. "Sure," Prince said. "Why not?" Prince entered the museum at 2:47 p.m., bought a ticket, didn't give his name. The young cashier, early 20s, art student working part-time, didn't recognize him, just handed him a ticket and a map. Prince took the elevator to the 3rd floor. American Classics, 1950 to 1970. The floor was nearly empty. A Tuesday afternoon. Most people were at work. There was only one other person on the floor. Marcus Williams, 52. Security guard. 15 years at the museum. Marcus stood near the entrance, hands behind his back, watching visitors to make sure nobody touched the cars. He noticed the small man in the purple jacket immediately, not because he recognized him, but because of the way the man moved. Slow, deliberate, like he was looking for something specific. Prince walked past a 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air, kept going, past a 1963 Ford Galaxy, kept going, past a 1959 Cadillac Eldorado, kept going. Then he stopped. In front of a 1967 Ford Thunderbird, midnight blue, white interior, chrome bumpers gleaming under the museum lights. A small placard next to it read, 1967 Ford Thunderbird Landau. Original owner, James Crawford, Pasadena, California, donated 2009. This model featured a 390 cubic inch V8 engine and was marketed as a personal luxury car. Affordable elegance for the American middle class. Prince stood perfectly still, staring at the car. Marcus, from across the room, noticed the man hadn't moved in over a minute. "Is he okay?" Marcus thought. Prince was 7 years old. Minneapolis, 1965. His father, John L. Nelson, took him to a Ford dealership on a Saturday afternoon. They didn't have money to buy a car, but John liked to look, to dream. They stood in the lot, staring at a brand-new 1967 Thunderbird. It was a demo model, early release. Midnight blue, just like this one. John, quietly. "One day, Prince, one day I'm going to own a car like that." Little Prince. "When? When I make it, when the music pays off." But the music never paid off. Not for John, anyway. John worked as a janitor at Honeywell, night shifts, came home exhausted, then played jazz piano at small clubs, Nasarima Club, the Key Club, for $50 a gig, sometimes less. He had talent, real talent. But talent without connections, without money, without luck, meant nothing. He taught Prince piano. passed on everything he knew, watched his son become everything he couldn't be. John died in 2001, heart attack, 66 years old. Prince bought him a house before he died, tried to give him money. John took some, not much. He was proud, but he never bought that Thunderbird. Prince, standing in the museum now, 47 years old, one of the most successful musicians in history, able to buy 100 Thunderbirds if he wanted, felt his throat tighten. He could own this car, right now. Make one phone call, write one check, but it wouldn't bring his father back. Wouldn't let John slide into that white leather driver's seat. Wouldn't let him cruise down Hennepin Avenue with the windows down, jazz playing on the radio, finally owning the thing he'd dreamed about for 40 years. That's what hurt. Not that the car existed, but that John never got to have it. Marcus noticed the man's shoulders were shaking slightly. Is he crying? Marcus walked over slowly. Sir, you okay? Prince didn't turn around, just nodded. Yeah, I'm fine. Marcus stood beside him looking at the Thunderbird. Beautiful car, isn't it? Yeah. You a car guy? My father was. Marcus nodded. Respectful silence. Then Prince did something unexpected. He pulled out his phone, looked at Marcus. Can you take a photo of me and the car? Marcus, surprised. Oh, sure, of course. Prince handed him the phone. Stood next to the Thunderbird. Careful not to touch it. The velvet rope was still between them. Marcus lined up the shot. Ready? Prince nodded, but he didn't smile. He just stood there, looking at the car, eyes soft, almost sad. Marcus took 3 photos, handed the phone back. You want me to take another one? Maybe with a smile? Prince, quietly. No, this is perfect. He looked at the photos, stared at them for a long time, then he looked at Marcus. Thank you. No problem. You visiting from out of town? Minnesota, but I'm in L.A. a lot. Marcus nodded. If you don't mind me asking, why this car? You got history with a Thunderbird? Prince, looking back at the car. My dad wanted one his whole life. Never got it. Marcus, understanding. I'm sorry. Me too. Prince stayed in front of the Thunderbird for another 10 minutes. Then he left. Marcus watched him go. Thought about the interaction for the rest of his shift. Guy seemed really affected by that car. Wonder who he was. It wasn't until Marcus got home and told his wife about the sad guy in the purple jacket that she looked at him like he was crazy. Did you get his name? No. Why? Describe him again. Small? Maybe 5'2"? Afro? Purple jacket? Quiet. Marcus's wife pulled up a photo on her phone. Showed him. Was this him? Marcus's face went white. That's Prince. Yeah. I took a photo for Prince and didn't even know it was him? September 2012. Marcus was working his usual shift at the Peterson Museum. 3rd floor, American Classics. It was a quiet Thursday afternoon. Then his supervisor called him into the office. Marcus, someone wants to see you. Who? Just come. Marcus walked downstairs to the main office. Inside, a man in a suit. A lawyer, by the look of him. The lawyer stood. Marcus Williams? Yeah. My name is David Werner. I represent Prince Rogers Nelson. I believe you met him here 6 months ago? Marcus, nervous. Yeah. I took a photo for him. Did I do something wrong? No, quite the opposite. David handed Marcus an envelope. Prince asked me to deliver this to you personally. Marcus opened the envelope. Inside, a handwritten letter and a check. The letter. Marcus, 6 months ago you took a photo of me standing next to a 1967 Thunderbird at the Peterson Museum. You didn't know who I was. You were just kind. That car belonged to my father's dreams. He never got to own one. But standing next to it that day, I felt close to him. I've been thinking about that photo every day since, and I realized I don't want that car to sit in a museum anymore. I want it to live. I've purchased the car from the museum. I'm donating it, and the enclosed funds, to create the John L. Nelson Automotive Scholarship Fund at your local community college. Kids who want to study auto mechanics but can't afford it will get full scholarships in my father's name. The Thunderbird will be displayed in the college's lobby with a plaque that says, "For everyone who dreams of something they can't afford yet, thank you for taking that photo. You helped me remember what matters. Prince." The check, $250,000. Marcus sat down. Couldn't breathe. David. The museum has already agreed to transfer ownership of the Thunderbird. Prince is covering all costs. The scholarship fund is being established at Los Angeles Trade Technical College. It will provide full scholarships for automotive, technology students in perpetuity. Marcus, crying. Why me? I just took a photo. David, because you were kind to a stranger, and because Prince believes small moments matter. October 2012. Los Angeles Trade Technical College held a ceremony. The 1967 Thunderbird was displayed in the main lobby. A plaque. The John L. Nelson Memorial Thunderbird donated by Prince Rogers Nelson, 2012. For everyone who dreams of something they can't afford yet. This vehicle represents a father's unfulfilled dream and a son's fulfilled promise. The John L. Nelson Automotive Scholarship Fund provides full tuition for students pursuing careers in automotive technology. Funded in memory of John Lewis Nelson, 1916 to 2001, jazz pianist, father, dreamer. First-year scholarships awarded 8 students. Prince attended the ceremony. Didn't speak publicly, just stood next to the car. Marcus was there. Prince hugged him. Thank you for that photo, Marcus. I didn't do anything. You did everything. Over the next 4 years, 2012 to 2016, 47 students received full scholarships from the John L. Nelson Fund. The Thunderbird became the most photographed item at the college. Students left notes on the car. This gives me hope. My dad would have loved this. Dreams don't expire. One student, Maria Rodriguez, 18, first in her family to attend college, left a note that stayed taped to the driver's side window for 2 years. My father worked on cars his whole life. Could barely read, could barely write, but he could fix anything. He died when I was 12. Never saw me graduate high school. This car, this scholarship, it's for him. For every parent who worked with their hands and dreamed their kids could do more. Thank you, Prince. Thank you, Mr. Nelson. I won't waste this. Maria graduated 2016, now runs her own auto repair shop in East L.A., employs 15 people. 7 of them are John L. Nelson Scholarship recipients. April 21, 2016. Prince Rogers Nelson died at Paisley Park. Marcus was at home when he heard the news. He drove to the college, stood in front of the Thunderbird, cried. Other people started arriving, students, faculty, strangers who'd seen the car and read the plaque. By evening, there were 200 people gathered around the Thunderbird. Someone brought flowers. Someone else brought a purple scarf. Someone brought a guitar. They sang Purple Rain in the lobby. The Thunderbird became an impromptu memorial. 2024 present day. The John L. Nelson Automotive Scholarship Fund has awarded 187 full scholarships since 2012. Prince's estate continues funding $50,000 per year. The Thunderbird is still in the lobby. Students still leave notes. A new plaque was added in 2017. Prince Rogers Nelson, 1958 to 2016. He stood next to this car and remembered his father. Then he gave it away so others could remember their dreams. Small moments matter. Marcus Williams, security guard, Peterson Museum, 2020. A documentary crew interviewed Marcus. What do you remember most about that day? He wasn't Prince to me. He was just a sad guy staring at a car. I didn't know why it mattered to him. I just knew it did. Did you ever imagine that photo would lead to this? Never. I took hundreds of photos for visitors. This was just another one. but Prince turned it into something that's changed 187 lives. What would you say to Prince now? Marcus, tearing up. Thank you for showing me that kindness isn't about who someone is. It's about who you are. I was just doing my job. You turned it into a legacy. The photo Marcus took, Prince, standing next to the Thunderbird, not smiling, just remembering, was never released publicly during Prince's lifetime. But in 2017, Prince's estate released it with Marcus's permission. It's now one of the most shared images of Prince online. Caption from the estate. March 22nd, 2012, Peterson Museum, Los Angeles. Prince stands next to a 1967 Thunderbird, the car his father dreamed of owning but never could. 6 months later, he bought the car and donated it to create a scholarship fund in his father's name. 187 students have been educated because of this moment. Small moments matter. Shares, 8.4 million. Top comment, he didn't smile in the photo because he was thinking of his dad. Then he made sure other people's kids could achieve their dreams. That's love. 2.1 million likes Marcus still works at the Peterson Museum. Now 66 years old, still on the 3rd floor. He tells the story to visitors sometimes. When they ask about the empty space where the Thunderbird used to be, there was a car here once, a 1967 Thunderbird. Midnight blue. Most beautiful thing you ever saw. A man came in one day, stood right where you're standing, stared at that car for 20 minutes, asked me to take his photo. I didn't know who he was, just knew he was sad. Turned out it was Prince. And that photo? It changed 187 lives. The car's not here anymore. It's at a college, inspiring kids, making his father's dream mean something. That's what Prince did. He turned pain into purpose, turned a museum piece into a living legacy, and I got to take the photo that started it all. Small moments matter. Remember that.